Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is time for your 5-minute focus. And I know what you're thinking. You're freaking out because you see someone in the box over here. And usually I don't have somebody in the box. But we're doing something special today. So I want to welcome in Jeff Huffman, my tag team partner. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. Not much. How about you?
Nothing much. I've had a lot of recording done today. I did my latest Creators Corner, which will be released later in the week with Tommy C. That went well.
There you go.
Long, very long, and very in-depth. I think people are going to really
Tommy likes to talk. We all know that.
Yeah, and I love to talk as well. But I let him go with it, man, and he got real in-depth. I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's going to be the best episode of it so far. Also, did unboxing today. We got a lot of content going on, but this one is a little special because about an hour ago, Jeff wrote me just out of nowhere on Facebook, and he goes, "Hey, what's your 5-minute focus about today?" And I go, "You know what? That's a really good question," because I had no idea. I had nothing. He was like, "What about the winter baseball meetings?" I'm like, "That's brilliant," because I love baseball, and I have yet to talk about baseball on this channel. And this is a different winter baseball meeting for me, especially because being a Cubs fan, this is a big one. So there's a lot of big names out there, a lot of big things going on. So why not talk about it? So really good idea, Jeff. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
No problem.
So before we get into that, though, I have to address something because you're a Rams fan. So I got to address something.
I am a very proud Rams fan the last 2 weeks.
What is up with your boy Jeff Fisher, man?
It was great. He's great. That's what he is.
What a dick move. Okay, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, a couple years ago, the Washington Redskins and the St. Louis Rams made a big trade, a very, very big trade for the rights to the second overall pick in the draft, which turned out to be Robert Griffin III. And in return, the Rams got three number ones and a number 2, and I mean, just
we got Greg Robinson, Janoris Jenkins, Zach Stacy, Alec Ogletree, Isaiah Peed, Rakevius Watkins, who's now in Kansas City, and I'm forgetting one other one. Yeah. Who am I forgetting?
They got a king's ransom is the point, and multiple starters, big contributors, and a potential superstar if he can get back on track in Zach Stacy. So
we got the way Trey Mason's playing.
That's true. Trey Mason's playing.
We got 3 really good running backs.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But so this is obviously turned into a clear victory for the Rams in this trade. So what does Jeff Fisher do, who was at one time like the longest tenured coach in the NFL when he was in his previous job? So this guy's been around the block. What does he do? He sends them all to the coin flip. Because they're playing the Washington Redskins, and it's just a little, hey, how you doing? Because obviously the RG3 has not worked out. Old Bobby 3 Sticks is not working out, and he's a bust. I think he's a bust. I think it's fair to say he's a bust.
One of the favorite pictures I've ever seen out of RG3 is the one with him in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
it shows him in the wheelchair, G3 or something, or R in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
and then 3.
The thing about Bobby 3 Sticks is he came into the league and just started shilling everything. I mean, like he didn't even get an NFL uniform. He had 3 Subway commercials. I mean, it was insane.
He still has a Subway commercial.
But and he had a spectacular rookie season. He looked really good.
Yeah. He got hurt.
He got hurt, and he's not the same player. And people question if he was ever the player that he might have shown he was. And I'm not so sure either. I mean, sometimes you could have a spark and then not have much more than that. So I don't know. Is his career done? No. Is he going to ever become more than what he is now? I don't know. But Jeff Fisher just digging for no reason, and then you whip their monkey asses on top of it. By the way, I had the St. Louis Rams defense starting in one of my fantasy leagues last night. That was a good decision.
Yes, it was.
That was a good decision. So, okay. So we got that out of the way. Jeff Fisher's a little bit of a dick, but I like it. So we got that out of the way. Let's get to the winter meetings that kick off today, I believe. So there are a lot of big names. So we're gonna play a little game. Where do you think they're gonna go? I'm gonna shoot you a name, and you tell me where you think they're gonna sign. And it doesn't have to be. They don't have to sign during the winter meetings for you to get a win here. Okay?
Yeah.
Sound fun?
Yep, I like it.
Let's start up at the top. Let's fuck building to suspense. Let's climax right at the beginning. John Lester. Where do you think he goes?
No, Lester really confuses me because there's so many teams that are in this race. You've heard the Red Sox and the Cubs are the big two, but you've also heard the Giants, the Cardinals, the Royals, and the Dodgers. There's so many teams that this guy can go to.
Yeah.
But I really have no clear-cut thought here on where Lester's going to go. I think it'll be either Boston or Chicago.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers just, whore more money.
Yeah, really it all depends on what he wants. I mean, if it comes down to dollars, it's the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to outspend anybody.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
He's already got a couple rings.
Yeah. Yeah. The owner of the Red Sox, Henry, he showed up again at Lester's house the other night, and people are reading into that could be a sign. But I have a feeling.
Well, Bruce Bochy already did that for the Giants.
Yeah, but this was the second meeting. This is the second time that the owner of the Red Sox showed up at the guy's house. So people are kind of reading into that. But I have a feeling.
I mean, the Red Sox, they're looking real good with the moves they're making and stuff.
Yeah.
Picking up Kung Fu Panda and Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, those are good moves. Those are
just
moves.
Just like the Dodgers, they have 17 outfielders.
Yeah.
We'll probably get to that in a minute,
we'll go through the outfield craziness, but I have a feeling that at the end of the day, Lester will become a Cub. His history with Theo.
That plays a big.
And this is my logic. Why wouldn't you want to be in a Cubs uniform when they eventually win it all? I mean, can you imagine the fucking party that's going to be?
That's going to be an awesome time in Chicago.
I mean, even as a Cardinals fan, I know you're a Cardinals fan, but I mean, you have to admit that when the Cubs do, and they look like they're in an upward trajectory, that's going to be fucking special.
Yes, it will be.
It's going to be crazy.
And plus, it'll make the rivalry more interesting.
Yeah, it'll make it interesting again. Finally,
it'll be make it fun again.
Yeah, I know. So that'll be cool to see that happen. But I think Lester will become a Cub. I think they'll give him 6 years and about $155 million. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I think it'll come close to that CC Sabathia deal the Yankees gave him. Something close.
Yeah.
Just not as many years. Max Scherzer.
I mean, they're saying that he's probably not going to sign at the winter meetings. A lot of people are thinking that it'll take longer.
Yeah.
Kind of just waiting out to see where Lester goes. They said he may have a decision today.
Yeah.
On where Lester's going to go, and then everything will fall into place after that. I could, at this point, I could see Scherzer going back to Detroit.
Really? I think that door's closed.
Yeah, but it's been opening and closing, throughout the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he turned down, what was it? Was it like 7 years, 140 or something?
Yeah.
That he turned down earlier this year.
He turned down quite a bit.
If Lester doesn't end up at with the Cubs, I could maybe see Scherzer going to the Cubs.
That's possible. Yeah, I think it all starts with Lester. It all starts with Lester. Once Lester makes his decision, then I think the other shoes will drop. But assuming that Lester signs with the Cubs, where do you think Scherzer signs?
Where I think Scherzer signs, like I just said, he could go back to Detroit. The Diamondbacks have been throwing some money around. They picked up the Cuban guy, Yasmani Tomas. He could go back with the team he started.
Yeah.
And this probably wasn't likely, but there's talks that maybe he could come here.
Oh.
I don't see that happening.
That wouldn't surprise me, though. The Cardinals do sneaky moves like that.
Yeah.
Would not surprise
Even
me.
the Angels of the last couple of years have been very, very sneaky. 2011, they snagged Albert Pujols. Year after that, they took Josh Hamilton, which that has just worked out just awful.
You see, I have a little bit of a twist here. I think there's two scenarios I see happening. One, Lester does sign with the Cubs, and then Scherzer is going to do one of two things. First, I think there's a very good possibility he signs with the Nationals. I think it's the Nationals that are going to swoop in and get him. I really don't have any reasons to believe why.
I can picture that. They're talking about. They've been talking about trading. Pfister or Zimmerman.
Yeah.
They're talking like who do they want to be? Who do they want to be the ace of the staff? Zimmerman or Strasburg? Well, Strasburg's the big name, but Zimmerman's been the much better pitcher.
He has been, but I think right now, I think Zimmerman would get a bigger yield in return than Strasburg.
Oh, yeah.
Because Strasburg's been great. Don't get me wrong, but you're right. Zimmerman's the better pitcher, and I think he'll yield more in return. So I see that happening. But the other option, which I don't think anybody will make this claim of this happening, but I just have a sneaking or sinking, I don't know what the term is, suspicion. The Cubs might make a play for both of these guys, even if they get Lester.
Why not?
Ooh. That would be
Why
huge.
Not?
That would be huge. But I don't see it happening. It's kind of a wishful thinking.
That'd be pretty. That'd
Ballsy.
be pretty big.
Yeah, it'd be ballsy.
Yeah.
James Shields.
What, three-frame James?
Three-frame James, that's right.
Whoever gave him the name Big Game James needs to get punched in the face.
Right.
No, but I do like James Shields because he's very durable.
Yeah.
And he's pitched well the last 2 years.
Yeah.
He was a big part of bringing the Royals back.
Yeah. See, I think Shields, if the Cubs miss on Lester, I see Shields as more of an option for the Cubs because of his connection to Madden.
Yeah.
I see that as a possibility, but I think if Lester does go to the Cubs and the shoes start to drop, I got James Shields going to the Dodgers. I think this is where the Dodgers make their move.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He'd be a good addition to that pitching staff.
Yeah, they already have God in the regular season over there. That's Clayton Kershaw.
I know, right? Don't count out the Red Sox either.
That's where I think he's going to go.
Yeah.
Because the Red Sox have no rotation.
Yeah.
Next to none.
Yeah. They don't really have much.
I could see three-frame James going to Boston. And also, I actually think the Phillies are going to send Cole Hamels to Boston.
Ah, you think he's going to get traded to Boston?
Yeah, the Phillies need to clean house. They need to make some trades. They didn't make any deals at the deadline this past season. They didn't make any.
Yeah, the Phillies need to do something. There's no question about that.
Cole Hamels has pitched very well.
Oh, Hamels had the best year of his career last year.
Yeah, Hamels was unbelievable, but the Phillies are all old and should belong in a nursing home.
Yeah,
he didn't get any help. I see Cole Hamels being traded to Boston.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I think that's a good
because the Phillies have a surplus, or the Red Sox have like 42 outfielders.
They do.
You got Cespedes. You got my boy Alan Craig, which I want to see him turn it around. I am convinced Alan Craig has been hurt the last year.
That's possible.
I am convinced. There's no way you can have that huge of a drop off.
No. Those are the big three names.
They also got Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley, Brock Holt, who can play every position on the field.
Yeah.
Daniel Nava, Shane Victorino. But I don't know. Hamels is going to go to Boston, and I think James Shields will also sign in Boston.
Ooh, big year for Boston then, huh? It's interesting. We covered the three big free agents left. Those are the big three. The big position players have already signed. So
Nelly Cruz going to Seattle.
Yep. Hanley and Kung Fu Panda going to Boston. The big players have gone. Melky Cabrera is still waiting around. I'm not sure who he's going to sign with. But as far as position players, there's not a lot. So that leads us to other players that are not free agents that are going to be affected in this year's winter meetings. Let's talk about some of the players that are probably going to be on the move. And let's start with those outfielders that you were talking about, not only from Boston but from the Dodgers as well. Cespedes. Do you think Boston's going to trade Cespedes? Because he seems the most likely because he's going to yield the biggest return for them.
I believe so. Like I just said, they said they were probably going to play Hanley in left.
Yeah.
They're going to play Hanley in left field. They also got Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. They got those two guys coming up.
Well, you got to figure any deal for Hamel starts with Cespedes.
Yeah. I would think that because, the Phillies need some young talent in there because they have nothing right now.
Yeah. But they're going to want more than just Cespedes, and I'm not sure how much more Boston's going to be willing to give up.
They could maybe throw Alan Craig in there.
Yeah, they could, but that's kind of taking a flyer on Craig. I mean, I think they're going to want some prospects, and Boston does have some prospects. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But you got to figure Boston's going to want to move Cespedes first in that Hamels deals. So I'm not sure. That's going to be a weird one. It's going to be a weird one. The biggest name I think in the outfield that is going to get moved, and there's been talks about it, but it hasn't picked up a lot of steam. Justin Upton.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely going to be moved. John Hart's coming in. He's changing everything around because everybody in that Braves lineup, with the exception of Freddie Freeman, is either all or nothing.
Yeah.
That team strikes out at a ridiculous rate.
Yep.
And, as soon as John Hart comes in, he makes the trade for Shelby Miller. We get Jordan Walden and Jason Hayward, which I really like that trade both ways. Both ways.
I think it could be a win-win. The thing about the Hayward deal is, you have to figure if they were going to move him, then Upton can't be far behind. I'm a little surprised it hasn't happened yet. Where do you think he goes?
Where does Justin Upton go? Well, there's talks that he could go to Seattle, but, they just signed Nelson Cruz. That'd be big for the Mariners if they could if they could get Justin Upton out there. You get Upton and Nelly Cruz out there with Cano. That's a pretty solid 3-4-5.
Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be.
But, I'm actually going to throw something out there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres come in and take Justin Upton. I would not be surprised by that at all.
The Padres are kind of the kitchen's kind of bare, though. They don't really have a farm system right now.
Yeah, but they were talking about they were big on trying to get Yasmani Tomas and Pablo Sandoval. So I don't know.
This isn't a sign. They're going to have to get. What would they give up?
That's true. That's true.
That's the problem. There's only a few teams that have the assets that is going to need to get this job done.
The Mets would be a good fit, but they're not going to trade within their division. The Mets have, just a surplus of starting pitchers that are really good.
If the Mets make a big deal and they're going to use any of their,
I got a big deal.
It would be for a shortstop, but
might as well go into this. Troy Tulowitzki. Troy Tulowitzki to the Mets.
I don't see it. I don't see it because
you don't see that.
No,
that's my bold prediction. Troy Tulowitzki to the Mets.
Here's why that's a tough sale. Troy Tulowitzki, when he plays, is a top 3 player in baseball.
Yes, he is.
The problem is he can't stay on the
He's
field.
made of glass.
Yeah, and so the question becomes his value. Colorado is still going to hold a high value for him, and the Mets are not going to give up Harvey or Wheeler. Or
they're not going to give up Wheeler or Harvey.
But that's what Colorado's going to want for him. They're not going to give him up for much less than that. We're talking about a perennial MVP candidate when he's healthy. Now the question is, can he stay healthy? And that's what affects his value.
That's a very big question mark. They're probably they're looking to move Cargo also.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier of a move because I don't think they'd be expecting to get such a AAA prospect, like a huge prospect for him. But for Tulo, they're definitely going to want something big.
Mm-hmm.
I think look. I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan, but I think the Cubs are going to be at the center of a lot of these deals that we're talking about. I think the Cubs can get in the mix.
they got a surplus of a lot of young people too.
Infielders. I mean, my God.
Yeah, you got 3 shortstops. You got Castro, Baez, and Addison Russell.
Yeah, the Cubs have like 5 or 6 of the top 10 prospects in all of fucking baseball right now. It's insane. The Cubs are stocked, absolutely stocked.
They don't have any starting pitching.
Yes, yeah, and that's a big thing.
I'd look for them to make a deal with the Mets.
Yeah, and I thought what made sense to me is as much as it would kill me to see Castro leave because I think he's going to be even better than he has been. You know, 3 All-Star games already in 4 seasons is pretty fucking good, but
led the league in hits a couple years ago.
Yeah, he has like 2 or 3 200 hit seasons already. I mean, the kid is amazing. Over 800 hits by the age of 25. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Occasionally, he might have his back turned to the batter.
He might be a head case. But that makes sense to me. The Cubs making a deal with the Mets, but the Mets are unwilling to trade Harvey or Wheeler. And for Castro, that's going to be the price. It's going to be one of those guys.
I mean, you could still get a real quality guy.
Yeah.
If you're the Mets.
Sure. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go.
I think the Mets and the Cubs are going to be very involved.
Yes.
In these winter meetings.
I do. Other names that could be moving. Jeff Samardzija, I think he's going to be moving again. I don't think he's going to make it through the winter meetings without getting moved.
No, Billy Beane likes to.
He's already blowing up the fucking team. Traded his best offensive player already.
Traded Josh Donaldson to the Blue Jays for Brett Lawrie and 3 prospects. I mean, they had to refuel their farm system because they dumped all of it last year. Picking up. Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking score that was. We got Addison Russell and Billy McKinney, who could be a serious player in the outfield, by the way, for Jason Hamill
and Jeff
Samardzija. And a guy who people keep saying he's amazing, but he hasn't quite become that diamond that people thought he was. I was so happy to see that trade.
There's been some talks going around that Samardzija will go back to Chicago, but not on the north side.
Yeah.
He'll be going to the south side.
Yeah, the White Sox. There's been a lot of rumors about that. That's quite a big possibility. Mm-hmm. It all depends on what the A's want for him. How greedy Billy Beane.
You don't know what the fuck Billy Beane's going to do.
Yeah, you just don't.
You have no clue what he's going to do.
He's insane. He's just one of those guys.
But I mean, you can't totally bash the guy because
I like Beane.
The team is successful.
Yeah.
Every year until they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Another outfielder, Matt Kemp. You got to figure someone in the Dodgers outfield's got to go.
Oh my God, yeah. It's either going to be Kemp or Ethier.
Yeah.
It's going to be Kemp or Ethier. They're saying that Kemp could go to the Orioles.
Yeah.
You have Adam Jones and Matt Kemp out in the outfield. That's a pretty nasty outfield. And they were saying that because the Orioles just lost Nick Markakis to the Braves, which that surprised me.
That was an interesting deal. Yeah.
Yeah. You thought when Nelson Cruz went to the Mariners that we'll get Nick Markakis back, and next day or two, Markakis is in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm with you on Baltimore needing to make some kind of move, and that makes sense to me. Kemp going there, but Baltimore's got a really good farm system as well. They got some players that could come in and surprise. I don't think Baltimore's going to fall off too much because they were a surprise team last year. They shouldn't have been a surprise team because they've been building for a few years here.
Yeah.
And you got to figure Wieters is going to come back, and he's going to have a big season. He missed most of this year. You got to figure he's going to come back and have a huge year.
They got Davis coming back.
What happened to him? I mean, I know the steroids thing. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. He did not have the season that anywhere close to the year he had before.
He still had the power, just the average
went way down. He didn't hit 50.
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, what was the leader in baseball? 38. Nobody hit 40.
No, Nelson Cruz did. Nelson Cruz hit 40.
Nelson Cruz hit 40?
Nelson Cruz hit 40.
Oh, I didn't think anyone hit 40.
Stanton would have, but he got hit in the face.
He did. His face got readjusted. That kid from Chicago, Abreu, he had a year too.
Jose Abreu, yeah. He could have made a strong case for MVP if the White Sox didn't suck.
I hate the White Sox. It hurts me to even talk about them. It makes me sick. I think that's about all the big moves. That's your big surprise. Your big bold statement was. Say that again. What was your bold move? So I can...
Too low to the Mets.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mock you on that one later because.
Low to the Mets. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Yeah. My bold prediction, my actual true bold prediction, I think it's gonna be John Lester, Jake Peavy, and Justin Upton will all be Cubs by the end of the winter meetings.
Justin Upton to the Cubs.
Justin Upton, Lester, and Peavy all become Cubs by the end of this week.
But you got all those guys coming up who can play multiple positions. They're talking about throwing Bryant in left, who's got ridiculous power.
Yep.
I actually look forward to see that. Baez is either a home run or a strikeout.
Mm-hmm. See, here's
he can
the
run.
thing.
He can.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I said Baez can. He can run a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of those guys is going to have to go, and it's going to take somebody like that to get Upton anyway. But what I'm thinking is a deal, something around this. This is what it'll take to get Upton. I think it's going to take this utility guy, this young Arizmendi Alcantara, who had a nice.
Okay.
He's got a little bit of pop. He was playing center field most of the time, so Upton would obviously take his spot. And then a combination of former number one overall picks, not overall picks, but first round picks, and highly touted prospects such as Mike Olt, Junior Lake, Josh Vitters.
I could see that. Yeah, Junior Lake.
A couple of guys like that.
Mike Olt hasn't really turned out real well. But...
No, but I'm not completely convinced he can't be a bigger impact player than what he was.
Yeah.
He didn't get enough at bats consistently, and the guy still hit 11 home runs.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to hit when you haven't played.
Yeah, and Renteria was not playing him enough. He was just too inconsistent. I didn't like the way they handled him. I think he's only 26. He's coming into his prime. I think Olt could still be a hell of a player, and he could help us get Justin Upton in this case. And I think they'll have to give up a player, not C.J. Edwards, who's our best prospect pitching-wise, but maybe, I don't know, maybe someone like Hendricks. That would kill me, too. I don't want to see Kyle Hendricks go.
Yeah, he pitched real well against the Cardinals last year until he met Matt Holliday.
Yeah, Holliday just he had a holiday, yeah.
But let me get this out there. I'm tired of people ripping Matt Holliday. I'm sick of it. Because the only image people have of Holliday is him getting hit in the nuts in 2009. Matt Holliday is a great player.
He is a great player. There's no question about that.
He is a great player. Kind of scares me a little bit in the field because it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. Sometimes. But, he plays the field pretty well, too.
Yeah, he does. He's a good player. He's a damn good player. And, I must mean it if I'm talking about a Cardinal in a positive light. Here's an interesting name real quick. We'll end on this. What about Chase Headley? He is not signed yet.
Chase Headley. Yeah, Chase Headley.
Headley. Yeah. What about him? You think he's a Marlins? Ooh.
Marlins. They're throwing money out there. They want to prove to Stanton that they're for real. They want to win. And, Stanton's made it real clear he wants to win in Miami. Why not? I don't know where Miami's getting this money from.
It's a very good question because nobody goes to their games.
Considering nobody shows up.
Yeah.
But they were a good team last year. They surprised a lot of people, including me. I didn't think they were going to do that well last year. They finished 3-4 games out of the wild card.
They had stretches where they played very well, but they also had stretches earlier in the season.
That was without Jose Fernandez too.
That's true. That's a very good point. That was
without Fernandez, and he's not going to be back till around end of June or early July.
They finished fourth in the division. They were 77-85. To put that in perspective, they only finished 4 games ahead of the Cubs. But
I love I love the wild card. I love it.
I like it. I like the fact that it adds a little more drama.
I think it maybe should be 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I don't like the 1 game shit.
Yeah, because then you get the Giants completely shitting on Pittsburgh.
It feels cheap. It
It does, like because the Houston Astros could have won that game.
Yeah. It feels cheap. It just feels like it's a coin flip because baseball, anybody can beat anybody on any, in a one-game playoff. I mean, anything can happen.
Anybody. Yeah.
That's not telling you who's the better team. And in the playoffs, in a game like baseball, I think you need to know who the better team is definitively.
And what we learned in a 7-game series, this past World Series, we learned that one guy can beat you, Madison Gardner. Or in the 2013 World Series, you can have a fucking robot at the plate named David Ortiz carry your team to the World Series. If they didn't have Ortiz, I wouldn't be surprised if we would have swept that series.
If they didn't have Ortiz, arguably they have no rings. So,
very true. Very true.
Ortiz is going to go down as one of the most important Boston Red Sox of all time. I mean,
he's going to be one of the best top 5 postseason players of all time.
I'll take it a step farther. David Ortiz is going to go down as the greatest designated hitter of all time if he's not already that.
Better than Edgar Martinez?
Yes. And I like Edgar Martinez. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
But, I mean, Ortiz has his name and his picture associated with some of the biggest moments in baseball history.
Yes.
Martinez does not.
That has one.
He's got one. Okay, yeah, but Poppy is Poppy.
Yes, he is.
And I like him.
I do too.
He's a good ball player.
I like David Ortiz.
I got to apologize once again to everybody who looks at the name of this episode as a 5-minute focus. Fuck you. We're never going to be 5 minutes because Dave only likes the name. So... But, I think that'll wrap up the baseball meeting talks, I believe. Anything else you want to throw in there about the winter baseball meetings?
No, that's pretty much it. The Reds are talking about trading Jay Bruce.
And Mike Leake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce would be an interesting... I would love to see him go to a better situation for him.
I could see him going to Toronto.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see him going to a team like Kansas City. Kansas City, they need to make a move to stay competitive. They lost Butler. A guy like Bruce in that ballpark especially.
Yes.
He could play well in that ballpark. And he plays a decent right field. I mean, you don't have to stick him at DH. He plays a good outfield. So... But he had a down year.
I mean, the entire Reds team had a down year. Everybody was hurt all year. Votto, Phillips. I mean, they were all
banged up. Yeah, they took a step back. I don't know. It's interesting.
And nobody shows up to Reds games unless they're winning.
Yeah, that's very true.
Same with the Pirates. There's nobody there.
This is gonna piss people off, but I don't really give a shit. Cincinnati's a terrible fucking sports town. Fuck, I hate Cincinnati. I hate Ohio. Fuck Ohio.
You hate Ohio?
Why not?
Sure.
I don't know. Where can all the children find you, Mr. Huffman, if they want to get a hold of you? By the way, you did a great video on your channel, which I know you're about to plug.
Which video are you talking about?
The latest one, your Yasiel Puig fucking
Fuck
shit
him.
fat.
Fuck him.
Mama's gonna eat your fucking heart.
I don't care. Puig hasn't accomplished dick in the year and a half he's been in the big leagues. He hasn't accomplished anything.
He's had some exciting plays. I'll give him that.
I mean, I said in the video, he's a remote stopper. You want to see what fucked up thing this guy's going to do. I mean, I personally liked watching him strike out 7 consecutive times against us in this year's NLDS, and I also loved watching him strike out 4 times in NLCS Game 2 of 2013. He got destroyed by Michael Wacha and Trevor Rosenthal. That was great.
I love the fact that I can just see Black Mama getting ready to fucking sacrifice your body over a fucking Dodgers goddamn altar. It's fantastic. Okay.
If you're gonna put a Dodger on the cover of the game, Clayton Kershaw I would have been perfectly fine with Clayton Kershaw.
MVP Cy Young, absolutely.
21-3, missed a month.
Yeah.
I mean, he did choke in the postseason.
Yeah.
Gives up a nice 6-run lead, and just a bomb to Matt Adams.
Yeah, it's forgivable. It's forgivable when you had the type of season that he had and the type of career he's having. My God, he's Sandy Koufax. He's Sandy Koufax.
Not in the postseason. He hasn't done anything in the postseason.
No, but you know what? I can't even defend it. I was gonna try to defend it, but I can't.
In a one game playoff, who would you rather have, Clayton Kershaw or Madison Bumgarner?
Bumgarner, because he has the track record.
Bumgarner is a god at pitching in the postseason.
Here's the thing. If it's just one game, and it's not a major league, let's say that you're about to have a game for your life, and it's not called Major League Baseball playoffs. It's just a game for your life, and they don't know that they're playing for your life, and you have one pitcher that you have to pick. I'm picking Kershaw. As long as he does, if he doesn't know that there's pressure, I'm picking Kershaw because he's a god.
Okay, all right. That's
He just can't know. If somebody tells him that, hey, if you lose, Dave dies, then I'm dead. I'm fucked. I'm going to hell. So,
oh yeah, you'll be dead in the first inning.
Yeah, I'm gone. So, go ahead and plug your channel, my friend.
Okay, yeah. If you want to find me and watch my basically somewhat of a rant video on Puig being on the cover, you can find my YouTube channel at Grand Slam 87. Just type it in the search box. It'll come up. I post all kinds of video game shit. I play MLB, NHL, Call of Duty. I'm playing WWE 2K15. I'm having a great time playing that game. So if you want to play some games with me, my PlayStation 4 ID is also Grand Slam 87, and Grand Slam 87 is actually also my Twitter handle.
There you go. It doesn't get much easier than that.
It does not.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Jeff Huffman, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. You did a great job.
Thank you for having me.
You took over today, buddy. I loved it. That was great. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Dead on Dave Productions with your 5-minute focus. Fuck you if you don't like the name. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. Peace.